Hi everybody, it is Dante Starshine here. Welcome to this video. It's the day of the dark moon in Aries, and tonight the new moon begins, beginning the waxing lunar cycle, where we're calling in energies. So it's an exciting moment, and I will share a bit about the astrology of the new moon. So again, the summary of lunar cycles is that the new moon is a moment of planning intentions that grow as the moon waxes and gets bigger. The full moon, we experience the results of that, and it's often a celebration. It brings a lot of light and clarity, and then we release the aspects of what we've called in that don't serve as the moon wanes and comes to the point of being new. And right before it's the dark moon, and this waning cycle is kind of the harshest time of the moon, where it can bring out some of the more dark or challenging aspects. But again, when we see darkness, it's simply what is unknown. So when we're comfortable exploring ourselves and seeing what's unknown within us and around us, even the darker times can be rewarding. But the new moon is a good moment because it means we've made it through that darker cycle into the light growing again. So with that light growing, we set the seeds of our intention. The day before this new moon in the dark moon, it's more about thinking about what that intention is. And then as the moon is new, we call that intention in. So tomorrow, on the 1st of April, let's call the intention in and call in what we would like to create and experience. Now, this is the first new moon of the tropical zodiacal year, and it's in Aries, the first sign. So Aries is a more intense fiery moon and is a lot about taking action, being willful in your creation. It's a very creative, passionate energy. There's a kind of sexual charge to Aries, or there's a charge of really wanting to initiate something new. So this is a beautiful time to initiate new creative projects, as is the spring season in general. And the new moon is with the planet Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of communication and of transactions, of business, of studies. And with Mercury there, this can be a very potent new moon for communications or for trades or selling or for learning. So be aware of that, and maybe call something in with that. Though also, with Mercury being really close to the sun, Mercury is now combust. Mercury is never too far away from the sun, so Mercury is combust a lot. I don't bring too much consideration to it because it is combust so much of the time, but a combust planet becomes angry or frustrated or irritated. So there can be some irritations in our communication at this time, especially because it's in the sign of Aries, which is more fiery and more rebellious and rambunctious. So we want to bring a lot of softness to our communication so as to not exacerbate any of those irritating qualities that can be present when Mercury is combust. So we always look to the aspects to the moon, and there aren't any really significant aspects to the moon, except when we look to the outer asteroids, and then we see Makemake, which is a Hawaiian male fertility goddess, opposing the moon within 4 degrees, and also opposing that Mercury there. So an opposition is like synergizing things through, the seeming opposites. They synergize. Makemake is this Hawaiian male fertility god, and is about creating new life, initiating creative action, and it's about the fertility of the earth as well. So Makemake is the protector of the earth, and so we could see earth themes coming up in the collective with this moon. Recently the Antarctic has been at 70 degrees, which is pretty wild. Maybe there's some consciousness of wanting to protect and preserve the earth there. Or it can also be representing this creative element of our own lives. It could be initiating greater creativity and connecting with that inner masculine creative archetype. How does this masculine energy want to come forth in the creative process? This might be a part of the new moon as well. If you use a rather wide orb, oh, okay. Of course, who else is there? Chiron. Even closer to Mercury is Chiron. So I don't know how I skipped over this up into this point, but Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is the wound that teaches us to heal. And when things are close to Chiron, it denotes where we might feel insecurity, um, that needs to get resolved, that needs to be transformed into knowing our worth and value and power. So in Aries, it might be related to issues of self, because Aries is all about the self. So do you feel worthy in your own self-expression? Can you bring it forward? Is there something that you want to call in how you come to express yourself and how you show up in the world? This would be a very powerful time to review it, to look at any of our insecurities and do some reframing work in this time of the dark moon, so that we really feel self-worth and self-love. Would be a really powerful use of this energy and that connection to Chiron. So as it comes to the other astrological events, in a couple of days Jupiter unites with Neptune, and Jupiter and Neptune are both those traditional rulers. Neptune's the new ruler of Pisces, Jupiter's the traditional ruler of Pisces, meeting in their own sign. This is a wondrous spiritual expansion, and it can bring this kind of elevated state and blissful state where we're more focused on the spiritual realm. And I've experienced this as this kind of returning to the remembrance that we can be in a state of transcendence and don't need to let the troubles of the world bring us down. And if there's any aspect of transcendence or renunciation or looking more to the spiritual than the material in you, you probably love these Pisces energies and these planets in Pisces, as it connects us with this most inner spiritual self. And so I would look forward to the union of these planets, and maybe intend to do something in that time that helps you to reconnect with your inner spirituality and connect with your higher self, and put your gifts to practice and practice devotion, because Pisces is a lot about this unconditional love and the love of spirit, the love that we have for Creator and for existence itself. Now there's also these other planets all up in Aquarius, and right now at the time of the new moon we have Juno and Saturn together. So this is a moment of really looking at our relationships. Where you're at in your relationship right now is going to be really significant, because Saturn is this taskmaster, and Saturn loves commitment and focus, and so does Juno. Juno is the jealous wife of Zeus that loves commitment and focus, and it's about how we love. So depending on where these planets aspect your chart, you might be feeling different things. And really, this will be really just a potent telltale sign of, is your relationship working or not? Are you getting along at this time? Are you able to meet the desires of your partner and satisfy each other, and not grate too much, not pull too much at each other, as Saturn might have that influence of demanding too much. So it's perhaps also looking about how we can meet our own needs in relationship, so that we're not too demanding with our partner if these things are showing up. Or it could be the flip side of that. It could be looking at how we can help our partner feel more met and received. This is intensified because those personal planets, Mars and Venus, that have been in a close conjunction for a while, are a little bit further apart now, but they are with Saturn. And so Mars with Saturn, it can feel like our passion is a little bit died down and restricted. Venus and Saturn don't mind being together as much because they are friends, but it does make us more serious about our relationships, and serious about our pleasures and those things of the world that really motivate us. So while there's this very spiritual aspect of Jupiter and Neptune together, there's also this real deep relational aspect of all of those planets together in Aquarius. Because they're in Aquarius, it is also about innovating, because Aquarius always changes things and sees things from the higher perspective of the community. So can you bring innovative change into your relationships? Can you bring that growth and that higher perspective into your relationships? Because Aquarius never wants things to really stay the same. Aquarius always wants to evolve and become something better and more powerful, more fair and harmonious and balanced, really. So that's what we've got going on. And is there anything else that wants to show up? I think in terms of more broad reaching influences, Pluto trying to Sedna really speaks about the transformation of Sedna. It can connect with a lot of things. It can connect with rebelling against patriarchy. It can connect with inner resilience, or it can connect with victimization, and all of those archetypes kind of blended together. So Pluto with Sedna aspect can be a lot of transformation of anything related to that realm. And Pluto right now in conjunct the Black Moon Lilith can be, or not in conjunct, yeah, so quincunx, kind of an awkward tension, can be just this moment where we really crave freedom, or really want to kind of act out and be wild. So there is the potential for a wild side with this new moon as well. Both Sedna and Black Moon Lilith are kind of wild feminine archetypes, and at 28 degrees, all of those planets are interacting with Pluto. And Pluto, as we know, is about obsession and power. So there's this kind of inner quest for power that might be coming out, or a wild, rebellious reach for that power. So we always want to make sure that we acknowledge these energies and these archetypes within us so that we can bring them into life and reality in a beautiful way, not in a way that is harmful to anyone. So most of all, at the time of the new moon, we focus on the new moon itself, and all of these other energies are present, though mostly this is about those inner insecurities and healing our insecurities and healing our wounds. And they can be wounds about relating and discourse, conversation, Mercury, this communicator. So do we have wounds about how we communicate our ideas? Or in Aries relates to the head. Mercury is our speech, so speaking our truth, speaking our thoughts. Do we have wounds about how we bring those things into reality? And can we heal those wounds to discover our own inner healing power? These are some potent questions for the new moon. And of course, it all depends on how it falls in your chart. So signs in Aries will be more, signs that are cardinal will feel more challenged by the new moon energies, or particularly activated at a mental level by this. So those are the signs of Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra. And fire signs are going to benefit from this new moon and find it very creative. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo might benefit a lot from this new moon. So if you want to see how this fits into your chart, let's take a look and have a conversation. I'm available for readings, and I will continue to be doing the channeling sessions on Thursdays, and next week we might have one on Friday again at that later time. And we'll talk again about astrology for the full moon. And I really intend to be having different videos of other natures back on YouTube. People might remember, like a couple years ago, I uploaded a lot of videos on different subjects of just me talking, but I've shied away from that a little bit just because I'm focused on other projects. But I'm nearly complete with this book, and I can't wait to get it to you. So the Pleiadian Guidebook for Living Love on Earth is complete, and will be hopefully on Amazon in 6 weeks or something like that. But the my release will come forward soon, so stay tuned, and you can download the more complete and edited version of that and dive into it and get the hardcover or the paperback physical copy when you're ready. So Thanks so much for watching. DanteStarshine.com is the website. Much love, many blessings, and hope to talk to you soon.